So you got hit by the flu?
Yeah, my kids have it.
Confirmed
Everybody...
or like?
I'm assuming.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I got hit by that same flu, or like a similar, maybe a similar flu, I suppose. Overall, just when we that same week we didn't do an episode. That same day.
Oh really?
Like when I was chatting with you, like I was like dying.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then like because that weekend was the Black Panther weekend, or the Black Panther weekend, so like
wow, what a time to be sick.
Yeah, I know. I was working through that, and like at the same time, I just had myself completely medicated because I was testing negative for COVID.
Right.
So I was completely medicated the entire time, and by medicated I mean like I had like Neocitrin, which I think you guys have something similar to that. It's just spelled something different. And then I had like Dayquil, and like some Halls, and like I rubbed Vicks.
Yep.
Like, and I just dead man walking quite literally for hours on end, just dragging my ass to work.
Yeah, that's how I am,
just
man.
because like we need the numbers, right?
NyQuil at night, Dayquil at day, and then Halls.
Yeah. Just careful not to mix those two.
Yeah, right.
I remember one time one of the kids were just like, "Oh hey, I wasn't feeling so well, so I took NyQuil," and the manager looked at him and was just like, "NyQuil? You know it's day, right?"
It's just knocked out. All right, let's get the right song teed up.
Teed up, like we're gonna just like hit the ball. Are we hitting the ball?
Yeah,
like
hit
the softball. Ball.
It could be like a softball. Yo, what up, JJ? Mix it and start seeing some wild shit. What up, JJ?
What are we mixing now?
I don't know.
Oh, we're mixing Dayquil and NyQuil and Vicks and Halls. Could we do that? I mean, I feel like we overdosed. Oh, that's why he wants to. That makes sense.
Mix it up. Mix it up.
Yeah. I don't think I can handle that. That's too much to handle.
Oh, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy American Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy American Thanksgiving to you guys.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's tomorrow, isn't it? Or I guess the day this gets released.
Yep, this will get released on Thanksgiving, but for 10 minutes, it will be Thanksgiving Eve. Nobody calls it that, but, it'll be Thanksgiving soon enough.
Oh wait, so when is the actual Thanksgiving day?
9 minutes from now.
You said it's Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah, the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but you said that was in 10 minutes.
Well, Thanksgiving's in 9 minutes now because it's 11:51 p.m. So right now it's Thanksgiving Eve in 9 minutes.
Oh, you're saying now is Thanksgiving.
Correct. Yeah, right now is Thanksgiving Eve.
I am picking up what you're putting down.
Well, thank you for picking it up. I'll take it now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Here, take the ball.
Thanks. Yeah, so
You're
happy
welcome.
Thanksgiving. I got hit with the flu or a cold or something. I got hit with something. So if I sound a little nasally, it's because I feel a bunch of pressure in my head,
Pressure?
Yeah.
Did you try to like decompress it?
Yeah, I tried to stretch my face out. I still have all the pressure. Yeah.
How did that work out for you? You stretched.
Well, what's funny? I remember watching this one video where they talked about your sinuses, and if you take your fingers and you put them like right below your cheekbone, press in, and then pull them out, if you do that for about 10 seconds, it's supposed to like reset, like flush your sinuses.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Yep.
3.
Yep.
2.
Keep going.
One. Did it work?
Oh. No, I still feel lots and lots of pressure.
I mean, you tried, buddy.
I did.
You tried.
I did. But that's what I heard. That's what I read one time, so I just take it as fact now, you know. Oh boy. So, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to our American audience. I hope that you have a nice day. Seeing some family maybe, eating some food maybe. Yeah, so happy Thanksgiving. I will be eating some turkey. I'll be eating some mashed potatoes, some food. Excited for that.
Turkey and mashed potatoes?
But yeah, you know, nothing crazy. This year,
Do you like mashed potatoes from the box, or do you like mashed potatoes that's like made from scratch?
I don't think I've ever eaten mashed potatoes from a box, if I'm being honest.
Like, you know, like the powder that they put in or whatever, and like mix it with water or whatever.
That actually makes mashed potatoes?
What was it? I don't. They don't let me in the kitchen.
I don't even know what that would be like, though. I like that doesn't make any sense to me. Having powdered mashed potatoes doesn't make any sense to me. I believe it's a thing. I believe people do it. I'm sure it's okay. I don't.
Yeah,
think
apparently
I've ever had
I'm
it.
too slow in the kitchen, and it like stresses everyone out, and so I'm just not allowed in there.
Well, you know, if you got in the kitchen more, you'd get faster. You know.
But like, I'm just not a guy to rush it.
I hear that. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually like cooking. I'm like one of the few people in the world that I know who actually likes to cook.
The flip side of that, though. Sorry, yeah, the flip side of that though is just like, I guess like some folks are just used to cooking and like they just want to get out of the way, right? So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, there's some times when I'm hungry and I don't know what to make, and so it's just like, okay, what can I do real fast? Boom, 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 knock it out. I remember when I first started cooking for myself, all I would eat is basically just like chicken and vegetables. And I got really sick of it really quick. And I didn't know, like, well, why? What the hell do I make myself? Like living on my own, not even sure what to eat. It was so strange trying to figure it out because, you know, for.
Right, but.
Go ahead.
Go on. I was gonna say back then you didn't have like Uber Eats or like Skip the Dishes and all that kind of stuff. I suppose, right?
Yeah, that's true. I also didn't know, like, I didn't know about sauces, right? I didn't know about stuff like onion jams. And that's really what cooking is, right? Like, you can make meat and cook it, you know, different ways and everything like that. But like having beef with, you know, taco seasoning, obviously you're going to get something very different than having beef with like salt, pepper, and some vegetables and mashed potatoes, you know, kind of like a shepherd's pie kind of thing. Like, yeah, like it's all the same stuff, but it's like, I love shepherd's pie so much. My mom calls it poor man shepherd's pie. It's not shepherd's pie the way that people normally make it, but it's basically just like celery, onions, carrots, kind of like all cooked together, and then mixed with ground beef after that's cooked, seasoned, you know, a little garlic in there, salt and pepper, and then mashed potatoes, and then like just like a scoop of mashed potatoes and then a scoop of like the meat and vegetables, and then you mix it together with salt and pepper. So it's not like traditional shepherd's pie, but that's like how I knew shepherd's pie growing up, and I love it. It's such a hearty meal. It's so simple, but it tastes so good. It's like my favorite. It's like my ultimate comfort food, probably.
Shepherd's, it's so filling too.
Yeah, shepherd's pie is very filling for sure. Super hearty. So, yeah, I like to cook, and you know, there was this like cooking service that I had for a little bit called HelloFresh, and it's not even a cooking service. I shouldn't have named them because they don't sponsor us. But what they do is they send you like hashtag not sponsored, but they send you like a recipe and like the, you know, the food that you need. And so the one thing that I got from doing that for a little bit was like, oh, onion jams. Oh, it's really good on burgers and different ways to prepare meat. And you know, different things to kind of throw together. And so like now I feel like I have a much larger knowledge of like what to cook and how to cook it, and I'm happy about that. So, you know, took a little bit, but eventually you kind of get it.
So, like, I guess after a while, you are capable of now, I guess, cooking some of that stuff on your own. Like, you can gather a bunch of the stuff that you need from a grocery store.
Yeah, like I'm at the point
The
now.
HelloFresh stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'm at the point now
Nice.
where basically I can open up like anybody's fridge for the most part, be like, okay, well, you got this, this, and this. Let's do this. You know, like I could kind of like make anything, or like make something out of, you know, what seems like, you know, nothing.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like it.
You're a sorcerer.
I am a food
Kitchen
sorcerer. A kitchen sorcerer.
A food connoisseur, maybe.
I make really juicy chicken. Oh my god, I love the chicken that I make. I think it's really good. You know what I'm really in the mood for? I'm in the mood for some honey mustard chicken thighs. I could really go for that right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, honey mustard. Oh.
I don't know what that is, but ooh.
Honey mustard? Literally half.
No, I know honey mustard. I've
Oh.
never had a honey mustard chicken pie.
Chicken thigh. Chicken thigh.
Oh, chicken thigh. Okay,
Yeah.
I think it's a chicken pie.
No, but that kind of sounds delicious.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Could be. Who knows?
Well, maybe
yeah.
when you plan to do one of your cooking streams, maybe you can try it.
Oh yeah.
Honey mustard chicken pies.
A honey mustard chicken pie. I bet you could get some like carrots and peas and that would taste kind of good. But honey mustard could be a little bit overwhelming.
And mashed potatoes from a box.
Maybe.
Mashed potatoes made from scratch.
Made from scratch. I love making mashed potatoes too. Mashed potatoes are so good.
Yeah, you get some like unrequited anger out when you're mashing potatoes.
Oh yeah, just start smashing.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Do you like
Those
mashed
exact same
potatoes?
grunts.
Do you like mashed potatoes with skin in or skin out?
I'm actually a little indifferent. It doesn't really bother me.
I kind of like it with the skin, if I'm being honest.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, a little skin with my potatoes. I like it.
Just little chunks of skin.
Yeah, little chunks of skin in
Fried
there. It's
potatoes.
good. Yeah, exactly. I think it's good. Yeah.
Oh. Noted.
So I wanted to reflect today.
You want us to reflect?
A little reflection.
Have you tried looking in a mirror, sir?
Look in the mirror a little bit. Look in the metaphorical halo mirror and just reflect a little bit and talk about some things that we're thankful for when it comes to Halo. Any part of Halo at any time, at any point. I think Halo is certainly what has brought us together. Without the game Halo, I don't know if you and I would know each other. Mystery.
When you said reflect and Halo, I can't help but think, would it be easier to spot a halo if the metal ring on the outer core of the halo was a reflective surface, like an actual reflective surface?
It'd be so hard to see it. It would blend into space.
Would it blend into space?
Well, not blend, but for the most part, I think that it would reflect stars and darkness.
What if it's like close to a star? Wouldn't it glow? Maybe. Oh,
yeah.
Maybe that's how the angels' halos work. They have like a star and the reflective surface of a ring of a halo on top of their head.
Whoa! It turns out halos are really just like little reflections of the sun.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Maybe that's why people in the Bible were so blinded whenever angels showed up, because the halos actually reflected sunlight, kind of like, you know how like a shiny object kind of gets in your eyes and you're like, oh, what is that? It's like the halos reflecting.
Were they blinded or burnt?
Both? I don't know.
like an ant when you stick a magnet.
Bible's a weird thing, man. People experienced a lot.
Oh man.
But yeah, I'm gonna kick it off with I am thankful for Halo 2. A little bit general here, I know, but Halo 2 is how I was introduced to Halo. A friend of mine named Marlon kind of showed me the Halo 2 trailer. This is before I owned an Xbox. And I was really sucked into that E3 2003 demo. And I absolutely fell in love with it. And I was like, this is a game that I need to play. And that's what kind of got me started with Halo. And I love it.
That was the one with like the BR that kind of acted like a DMR. And like,
yes.
Because it wasn't a 3-round burst BR.
Right, yeah,
and
it was
like
just
dual-wielding SMGs were inserted the first time or whatever. And then you had like some really cool animations of like a brute like completely crushing a marine.
Yeah. Yeah,
you're walking through that little alleyway or whatever. Yeah, that one was cool.
The neat thing about that too, it's like that was my first exposure to Halo. So I never saw anything from original Halo to kind of compare it to. So for me it was all like, oh, this is just what the game is. And so I remember just being so in love with it. And so that kind of got me started. And I never would have thought, after seeing that trailer in 2003, I never would have thought that here I am 19 years later talking about Halo on a podcast. Like, it's kind of crazy. So I am thankful for Halo 2.
Okay. I mean, hey, like, can we say that we're thankful to Bungie and like the folks that created the Master Chief and like,
yes,
brought a lot of the elements of like what they thought would be fun and what they thought would be cool into a video game, and then further expand upon it.
Certainly.
I can also certainly be thankful to 343 for extending it, just a bit.
Yeah, carrying the torch for sure.
If 343 didn't pick up Halo, I don't know where Halo would be right now. Like they have some hard shoes to fill and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong, but like, it's nice to know that even then there's still Master Chief stories that are out there, and it just kind of continues.
No, you're exactly.
We know that the story of Master Chief can kind of continue.
You're exactly right. Like, Microsoft was going to put Halo on a shelf. They didn't know what else to do with it. And then 343 was like, hey, we'll continue it. So, yeah, I think it's being thankful for the developers who have done Halo and continued Halo, despite whatever controversies have come along the way and what things maybe they missed or what things, maybe we wished had happened between each title. Like, we're still getting Halo titles. So I think that's a perfect thing to be thankful for sure. The people who actually did it.
Great. I was feeling I might have been copping out with that one.
No, not at all. No, this is just like a genuine, like deep down, like, what are you really thankful for when it comes to Halo? I am thankful for the lore, just like the story of Halo. And again, like, not every game has had the best story, but I can't think of any other storyline that I've been following for close to 20 years now. Halo's kind of it. Like, I am still excited for whatever the next campaign is that comes out. I was excited for Halo Infinite. I was excited for Halo 5, even Halo, like all of them. Every single Halo game that has come out, I've been excited, wanting to get to the story, to see what happens, to see the continuation. And there are some moments from the games and from the story that are really cool and really impactful, and some characters that I've identified with and kind of seen myself in, and just there's so much in there to kind of just like be thankful for. So I am thankful for Halo and the continuation of the campaign.
Nito Burrito.
Nito Burrito.
Nito Burrito. Okay. I am okay. Okay, I am thankful for Halo to be like kind of the pioneer of first-person shooting on console.
Okay.
Really bringing it to really like helping bring the controls and all that stuff to its own to the standard that it's at right now, actually.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for all any of that, I don't think we would have like things like even like Call of Duty we probably could have had, but it wouldn't be to the extent that it is now. It could be a very different environment, right? Maybe they wouldn't have perfected the control schemes or anything yet, right? Like and all that kind of stuff. So like if it wasn't for that, we probably wouldn't have like a lot of the current gen shooters that we have at this particular moment. Because they really did like when they did create Halo CE for the first time on like Xbox, they really did kind of push things in that direction.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, just trying to get a first person shooter on a console and making the aimer work with the joystick is really difficult. And so them being able to do that has certainly paved the way. And sure, maybe somebody at some point would have found a way to do it, but
Yeah, probably.
that's not what happened. What happened was Halo figured it out, or Bungie figured it out with Halo. And so, yeah, you're exactly right. I mean,
No, I think Halo figured it out.
Halo figured it. Yeah. Halo. They figured it out on Halo. Figured it out.
Bungie created Halo, therefore Halo.
Halo figured it out, and you can see.
That sounds like a great title.
Halo figured it out.
Therefore, Halo figured it out.
I like that. But yeah, Halo figured it out, and many of the shooters that you know and love and have heard of all have their roots somewhere, somehow, back to what Halo did on the original Xbox. 100%.
This is true.
This is true. My next thing is going to be, I am very thankful for the Halo soundtracks, the music. I have a playlist on Spotify that I created called Sleepy Halo, and it's all like the kind of like chill kind of music
Or
from Halo.
Kind of
Ambiance, the monks, some strings, nothing with percussion basically. And it's still music that I listen to, and not just like for nostalgia, like, oh yeah, oh my god, this is what Halo, but like it's actually calming music that I like to listen to. I'll fall asleep to sometimes, although recently I've been falling asleep to just piano music. But it's okay. It's like I'm one of those people who gets like, goosebumps from listening to songs. I'm one of those people who gets like emotionally moved by music. And so listening to any of the Halo soundtracks really kind of like gets my creativity going, gets my mind kind of going. And I love that. I absolutely love that. I love the Halo music that they created. And starting off with Marty and then continued with, Neil Davich and Kazuma and the three composers for Halo Infinite. Like, it's all, I don't know. It like, I feel sort of like transported to another world, when I listen to Halo music.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm thankful for the soundtracks.
I would bring up the ability for couch co-op in System Link. System Link's a huge thing.
Oh,
actually,
yeah.
even for me. Like, being able to just have a bunch of people over with, like, Xboxes and screens and stuff and doing a LAN party. Like, having that as a thing that, as, like, a... What's the word I'm looking for? As, like, a... Not a prerequisite. Like, like, just... like a shoehorn in for like system linking kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I had
if I wasn't
word, and now I don't
sick
know.
right now, my brain would probably be working a little bit better. So I'm sorry, I can't help you out here.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, no, but like if it was, I mean, like there was a huge aspect to System Link, especially back in the Halo CE days, right? Like, you know, I've a bunch of people just bringing over their original Xboxes and like plugging them into each other with Ethernet cables and all that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, just having that camaraderie. Like, there was no such thing as virtual like co-op or like couch co-op or a virtual couch, like until Halo 2, right? So like people brought over TVs, they brought over Xboxes, they connected it, and like even now it's still a thing that can be done on MCC, and I'm very appreciative of that because like that's something I love to do for example, for my birthday party. I love getting together a bunch of people, playing Halo 3, junk food and video games, yelling and screaming at each other just for funsies, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think LAN parties and System Link was such a big thing for me. I grew up on a street in Philadelphia where there were about 14 of us within 5 years of each other. So we were all sort of right around the same age. And so whatever we got into, you know, there was like a dozen of us who would all play it. So if we were into soccer, you know, there were just tons of people to play soccer, hockey, same thing. And so when we all started playing Halo and playing Halo 2, yeah, we would just, you know, whatever kids, like parents were okay with everybody kind of coming over, like that's what we would do. We'd all carry our 20-inch tube TVs and our Xboxes and hook everything up together, and we would have LAN parties like every day of the summer. And just the bond and the connection that created, and the fun competitive atmosphere, there's just nothing else like it. Like before then or since then, like nothing else like Halo 2 LAN parties for me. And look, when Halo 2 came out, I think I was 12 or 13 years old, right? So it was like the perfect time for me to get into a game like that. And yeah, it was just, yeah, I think that's a great one. System Link and LAN parties. It created so many, tell me if you agree with this or not, but so many memories that I have of Halo revolve around LAN parties.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. I remember it was when I played with some of my high school friends, like one of my friends just loved the idea of being able to rip the turret off of its stand and just, you know, run around with that thing.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So like that's what he did. Like that was his one and only purpose and goal in every map is find the turret, rip it off, and start running around with it. You know, like and shooting people with it. Like he was just satisfied with that, you know, and like it's so great to see that, you know, it's something as simple as that, just a small simple mechanic that just made it very enjoyable for him, right?
Yeah, I think it's interesting you say that because like there's so many different ways to play the game, and I definitely had friends who like there might have been somebody who a little bit to what you're saying, like everybody had like a different way that they really played or something about Halo that they really liked. And so like I had friends who were terrible at shooting, but they loved the objective part of it, right? And so like everybody who I knew had like some little thing about the way that they played that they loved. It was kind of cool to see that. Whether it's running around with a turret,
it was
driving, or
yeah. I guess the next thing I would probably be thankful for is, I mean, oh sorry, I had that one thought. Okay, the one thought that you know, the lack there. I mean, it wasn't really a competitive thing. Halo felt very arcadey at the time. It initially had released. Like, you know, you guys can just like, if you guys wanted to, you guys can just like, you know, run around and like do silly things in Blood Gulch Canyon, for example.
yeah,
right? Like the idea of red versus blue came through, you know, Halo CE, and just like these guys sitting together on a couch and like, hey, I wonder how cool it would be if we just kind of created characters like for these and for this, and like, you know, had like these kinds of conversations and this, that, and another, and then, you know, there you go, you have all of a sudden red versus blue kind of became a thing,
right.
so like that doesn't come through competitive Halo, that just comes through like the idea of the sandbox and the arcadey kind of feel that Halo CE had initially had.
Yeah.
So the next thing that I'm kind of thankful for, especially very early on, is the KISS method that was implemented throughout, you know, throughout the earlier Halo games. So like, you know, Halo CE was the Halo CE, Halo 2, Halo 3, they were all very simple. Anybody can kind of just pick up the controller and like, okay, well, this is your aimer, okay, it takes you a little while to adjust. Sure. This is your movement, right? You can throw grenades with this button. You can shoot with this button, right? And it wasn't as complex as like you have to pick a loadout. Like I'm just I guess for comparison, so you have to pick a loadout. You have to pick out like you got to pick a bunch of these perks or something, and like these are the things that make you better, or they give you this kind of modification, all that kind of stuff, right? Halo 3 ended up bringing in like the little back pocket kind of like equipment that you can kind of throw in just as a thing to kind of mix things up, and like even that wasn't difficult to understand. It was just like, oh hey, like sometimes you can pick up equipment and just press X to kind of throw it down.
Right.
It didn't like mess around with movement too much or anything. Like it was just something that you can just have in your back pocket. Oh hey, I got a warthog barreling towards me and I have a grav lift that I can throw in. I wonder if this grav lift will make that warthog go flying, and it won't hit me, like those kinds of things. It just is, it's very simple. It's not complex in any way, shape, or form. Anybody can pick it up. Anybody can just pick up a trip mine and just throw it down, and just before a warthog hits them or something, or throw it down and like die, and they could find it funny or they could find it really annoying. It is what it is. Or a bubble shield or an energy drainer, all those kinds of things. Like it didn't modify movement too much, but just enough to be able to still keep within a specific amount of axis. So I'm not having to constantly look up or constantly look to the right or to the left or something. Like it stays within the screen kind of thing.
Yeah.
Unlike a grapple shot or a thruster pack where like, you get really close to somebody that has a thruster pack. And this is like a Halo 4 and Halo 4 and Halo 5 thing, right? Like thruster pack gets you close, and then all of a sudden, like you just kind of completely lose them because they're like behind you or something.
Right.
Fairly quickly. Right. For the most part, the equipments in Halo 3 was pretty easy to follow along with.
Yeah, I think, and that was one of the cool things about, I would say, any of the first 3 Halo games. It's like I had some friends who would play it with us, and they weren't necessarily big gamers, but the game was so accessible and easy to understand and pick up that like anybody could really play it. Who had any kind of experience with something like a first-person shooter. It was very accessible and easy to pick up for people to be able to play and have fun. Think about Halo 5, and there was like so much complexity with the movement where the difference between somebody who's experienced and picking it up for the first time is so drastic. But yeah, Halo made it, or the original games were very accessible for sure.
Right, yeah. Anybody that picks up the Halo 5 like game, just as an example, like you have to think about, okay, sprint. Okay, when those brackets come up, I can press B to Spartan charge, right? Or like I can press I can stick to slide, right? And all that kind of stuff. And it's just all of a sudden, yeah, you have greater movement, which is fine, but somebody new to the Halo universe, they're not going to be able to kind of pick up on that kind of stuff fairly quickly or fairly easily.
Yeah, it's just gonna feel like people are flying around the map,
and that's kind of a minor problem I have with like the grapple hook and like the thruster pack and all that kind of stuff in Halo Infinite right now. It's just yes, you are more, you can traverse the map fairly easily, but I don't know. I find it a little bit more difficult for somebody new to kind of pick that up and just be able to just understand the concept of it all.
Yeah, I get that. I will say I am thankful that in current Halo, that they have gotten closer, I'll say, back to the original recipe of simpler movement. Like, yes, we still have sprint, and like you're saying, there are still equipment thruster packs and equipment grapple hooks and stuff like that. But, in comparison to something like Halo 5, it's certainly easier to pick up for the first time if you're playing Halo Infinite than Halo 5 in terms of how you're moving around. The difference between sprinting and just kind of walking has been lessened, and for the most part, I think that it's a simpler game now with Halo Infinite. So I will say that I am thankful for the direction that Halo is going in when it comes to movement. I'm thankful that they solved the sprint debate. You don't hear anybody talk about it anymore. They figured it out. They figured out a way to make people who don't like sprint, like me, happy, and people who do like sprint, keep them happy. So I am thankful for Halo Infinite's multiplayer direction, and I hope that they kind of just continue to innovate on what they have instead of completely redoing it for the next title.
Okay. Oh, this might sound a little weird.
Ooh, go for it.
I suppose, but like I'm thankful for that little bit of like mystery that's kind of involved with like
Ooh.
Halo. You know, like the Forerunner structures and like the idea of the Forerunners and how they kind of keep it behind the scenes a bit. Like it's kind of a mysterious thing. Right. I'm thankful for that just because like it helps give a little bit more depth and a little bit more atmosphere in like when you're exploring these kinds of worlds. And like without that, I feel like it could have just been a very generic, shoot up the aliens kind of thing. Right. There's very different designs for Forerunner stuff. There's very different designs for Covenant and all the, like the different colors to signify. Oh, hey, no, this guy is a stronger one because this is a ranked, like a higher ranked one, so it's gonna have more health and like all of that kind of stuff.
Right.
Right. It could have been very much like copy paste generic alien design, shoot them until they die kind of thing, or very bullet spongy. Like I appreciate how they designed and created all this atmosphere and this depth and like and all of that stuff in the Halo universe.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for that. Like that having the Forerunners gives the whole story and the whole world, really the whole world, right? Like this extra layer of depth. We're not just, like you're saying, we're not just on planets fighting aliens, whatever. We're on these structures that were made by beings for a purpose. And, over time, we're kind of figuring some of it out, but there's still some mystery to a lot of it. And sorry, I just accidentally knocked over my kettlebell. There's still some mystery to it, and I think that it gives it a lot of depth and makes it interesting and makes it still, even now with Halo Infinite, 20 years later, we still have this Halo array that at any time could be activated and like wipe everybody out again, right? So like there's still this like there's mystery to it, and there's this just great power, and it adds so much more depth than just you fighting aliens, like you're saying.
Yeah, it does.
I am thankful for Halo podcasts, and I'm not just trying to rub my own back here or anything like that. But back when I was a painter and I was really into Halo, but I didn't have any friends who played Halo, I started listening to podcasts and decided, hey, let me search Halo. And I found the Drunken Halo podcast, and I found Podtacular, and I found Podcast Evolved, and some of the original Halo podcasts that are still going on right now, actually. And they gave me a community. They gave me friends, people to connect with, especially Drunken Halo. That was the podcast that I was... Excuse me. Actually, hang on one second.
Yeah, you don't need to get so emotional, man. It's fine. I'm sure they appreciate you too.
Getting so emotional over here. God, I love you guys. No, but like those friends of mine who I was talking about when like we were playing Halo 2, and there's like 14 of us who were all within the same age group, and we'd all play Halo together. By the time 2010 rolls around, nobody's playing Halo anymore. After Halo Reach came out, all my friends fell off of it. They didn't like it. It was too different. They didn't like the sprinting, the jetpacks, the DMR. And at the same time, everybody was playing Call of Duty more. And just the timing just didn't work out. And so I kind of like lost all my friends who played. And even I stopped playing Halo Reach. And I came back to it with Halo 4. And as Halo 4 was coming out, I still didn't really have any friends who played. And then I'm trying to think of when I started listening to the podcast. It might have been right around the time when Master Chief Collection was coming out or had just come out. And I started listening to the Drunken Halo podcast. And then it was like, wait, there's a bunch of people who all used to play who all used to play with other people, and now they're all kind of on their own. And so it was just like I was able to find other people who were just like me, who no longer had, you know, friends who played anymore. And, you know, it was just like I had like a new group of people to play with again.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
that would, yeah, it would definitely like spark like a love for it again for sure, because like now you're just playing with people that also enjoy it just as you do.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like that group of 14 friends of mine was replaced with a group of like 30 people who were all playing at, you know, any given time, you know. And so it was like, this is what I missed, you know. I missed getting home from school and just, you know, being able to just get on with anybody and play, you know. And so like that was gone for a while, and then now it's like, okay, I get done work, you know, and then hey, who's on, who wants to play? So it's nice to kind of having like that back in my life after I had sort of lost it over the last, you know, 6-7 years now. So Halo podcast, I'm thankful for him.
I am thankful for both Bungie and 343 Industries taking a little bit of a leap of faith and kind of branching off from just a first person shooter aspect of Halo World, allowing for, like, you have the first person shooter open world aspect of Halo 3 ODST, which worked pretty well.
Yes.
Right. Infinite is not working as well open world for me, unfortunately, but like they also expanded and have some great stories in Halo Wars and in Halo Wars 2. So like I'm thankful that they took that leap of faith, because like if it wasn't for that, I never would have probably played an RTS just in general, right? Because like it allowed me to play an RTS. I've never played. I mean, I played StarCraft, or I tried to play StarCraft, and like I would use assets and aspects of the Halo universe to try to make sense of like those kinds of games.
Right.
So I'm thankful to 343 for at least, you know, and Bungie, because Bungie, I know Bungie was kind of a little reluctant at first or whatever. They didn't really want to work together with, I think it was Creative Ensemble or something.
Yep.
Like I'm thankful for them for them and even Microsoft for even like being like, okay, let's give Halo Wars a try, and you know it ended up creating its own community of like, you know, Halo Wars enthusiasts, right? And you know I'm thankful for like the simplicity in that, and I'm also thankful for the fact that like, hey, like I was able to try an RTS, or I was able to try a little bit more of an open world in a Halo game in ODST, and all that kind of stuff. So you know, I think that's great, and I would love to see more branched out stuff. There's so many ideas that we've brought up in the past that would be really cool to see.
Yeah.
Right. Just hope that they take a couple more leaps of faith.
A couple more risks, a couple more different. Yeah, I like that. That's actually really good. Yeah, that is one thing about Halo, I will say. I mean, regardless of the developer, there have been, you know, attempts to push beyond what everybody thinks they are. And I definitely appreciate that. I mean, even the Halo TV show, like, you know, have your opinion on it, whatever it is that you want, but like, it's a bold move. That's a risky move to sink a lot of money into something like that, you know, to try and tell us a story that we haven't heard yet, and it be different and look different, and you know, it takes some balls to be able to, you know, put resources together to tackle a project that's, you know, outside your normal scope of like, okay, mainline Halo game. So yeah, whether it's Halo Wars or whether it's Halo Wars or ODST or you know, whatever else they come out with. I hope they do like a horror game. I would love to see that. But yeah, I hope they keep pushing for that too. The final thing that I'm going to say here for Halo, I'm going to say I am thankful for the community of people who are around me right now. Being you, Mystery, and everybody who has been playing over the last, you know, year or two or so of this podcast, who have come out for game nights or come to these live streams or listen to the podcast on Spotify or whatever it is. You know, we've had a few thousand people, you know, listen to our podcast, and so I am, you know, thankful for people who are downloading the show and listening to it and watching it, and, you know, submitting questions, and, you know, just this whole thing has been really cool to see people, you know, who are, you know, who I consider friends, you know, who I consider people who are, you know, close to me, and it's been something that's really special. And so, you know, I don't know, even with streaming, like I started streaming Halo when I was doing one of the Drunken Halo tournaments. That's when I started streaming. And so if it wasn't for Halo, likely I wouldn't be doing, I mean, maybe I'd be doing a podcast about something, but certainly not the streaming and the podcast and all the stuff that, you know, we have going on here. And, you know, with this new job, I've sort of taken a back seat to a lot of this kind of stuff, but just kind of looking at everything as a whole, you know, I really am thankful for Halo, because it has allowed me to do things that I never even realized were things that I just loved doing. Hakira in the chat says, you know, I do miss you yelling around. Like, I'd love that, you know, the streaming aspect and just having fun and talking to people while playing video games. Like, I wouldn't have done any of that if it wasn't for Halo. So I'm thankful for Halo when it comes to content, thankful for Halo when it comes to the community. Mystery, I'm thankful for Halo, because without Halo, I don't know if I ever would have met you or talked to you. And so I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for all of this. So thank you, Halo, for all this.
Yeah, right. Thank Halo for Halo.
Thank you, Halo, for being Halo.
Yeah, exactly, for being Halo. I mean, there's other things to also be thankful for in regards to Halo. Like theater mode and Forge and all the possibilities there, right? Like, those have been huge assets to keeping things going for the Halo community.
Yeah.
Right, because we've seen such creative things, right, coming from it. I don't know if you've seen any of the newer, like Halo Infinite, you know, just Forge stuff. It's actually insane.
Yeah, I can't wait to.
It really feels like anything's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like those kinds of tools, and those kinds of tools really did bring the community together as well. So, I mean, and the continuation of that, they could have just easily dropped it after Halo 3, but they decided to continue it for Halo Reach, and they could have easily dropped it for Halo 4, but they decided to continue for Halo 4, and, like, you know, and they just keep refining it and they make it more advanced, sure, yes, but, you know, it's better for the cartographers or the forgers. They're cartographers, right? The forgers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better for the cartographers out there, right? And I love that they were able to kind of just, like, hey, you know what? Let's kind of try to make you guys part of lore. We're just going to call you cartographers because that's just something in the Halo universe that makes sense, you know?
Yeah, I love that. Like the broader Halo community itself and everything that they're doing with the tools that, you know, Halo's given us.
You got the cartographers, and then just imagine the monitors being moderators or something, you know, like.
Oh, I like that. The monitors. Why did I never think of that?
And, like, you know, like, I don't know, like, if they did, like, a Discord, like, or I know they have a Discord server or whatever, like, just imagine, like, their Discord server has, like, monitors are the moderators, and, like, each channel is, like, a Halo array or something.
Whoa.
Inside that. So,
the
Installation
monitors.
04 is the general chat. Installation 05 is this, you know, like.
Oh, that's neat. I like that. Dude, you really blew my mind with the monitors. I don't know why I never thought of that for like streaming mods or anything like that. The monitors. I actually love that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think that takes care of it for my list. Is there anything else that you can think of that you're thankful for when it comes to Halo?
Okay, I know you've mentioned that you had your friend, bring Halo to you in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I have to be thankful for like one of my cousins to like that actually kind of introduced me to the Halo universe. Because if it wasn't for him, I probably I don't know if sci-fi would even be a thing that I would have liked. Like I don't know if I ever would have ended up picking up on Star Wars in any way, shape, or form, or anything, right? Like Halo kind of is my Star Wars in a sense.
Okay.
Because I mean, I dealt with Halo first, I suppose. Even though Star Wars was around longer, I just never ended up watching it.
Okay.
Because like in my family, sci-fi wasn't really too big of a thing. They were always about like action, just action in general, like action movies, like your Schwarzeneggers and your Jackie Chan's and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, my dad too.
Kind of stuff, right? So yeah, I have to be very thankful to my cousin in regards to like, oh hey, like he actually introduced it to me, and then he also just kept that hype going with sharing those experiences with me, showing me the Halo 3 E3 trailer, the teaser trailer with like I've never had goosebumps like that, like ever hit that. I've had it close with other things like the Infinity War trailer that had come out for Comic-Con and all that stuff, but I still have yet to find something that has gotten more hype in me than that Halo 3 trailer.
Yeah. Those times were magical. They really were.
Yeah, they really were. They really were.
All right. How do we put a nice bow on this?
What's that?
I said, how do we put a nice little bow on this?
Well, we could probably thank the community for sticking around.
Yes.
And being like quite open. I mean, yeah, sometimes I know there could be toxic times, I suppose, and there's lots of differing opinions, right? In Halo in general. So yeah. I think it's just like I think it's just nice that and be thankful for like all of those differing opinions creating what we have right now. And then thankful for people being like open and accepting of like, oh hey, yeah, like maybe we can play with each other and like all that kind of stuff, and create those memories, those experiences of and being friends and all that kind of stuff online. Yeah. Like think about how many friends have never like they played online together for like years and they never met each other in person, and sometimes they do meet each other in person.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's kind of crazy to think that that's a thing. Like, hey man, I have a friend in like, I don't know, I'm just gonna throw out like something like Poland or something, that I play Halo with. Just it's kind of crazy to kind of think about.
Yeah. Yeah. When I played Halo 2, there were these two guys who I played with who were from Maryland, and they had family who lived like 5 minutes away from my house. And I remember meeting them for the first time, and it was so cool. It was like, oh my God, I know these guys online, and they turned out to be really cool. And I hung out at his like uncle's house for like a barbecue or something like that. Like, yeah, it's neat how, Halo and the community around it, you can meet people and it brings everybody together. It's such an awesome thing.
Exactly. So yeah, and then we could be thankful for all the folks that listen to the podcast, that stick around, that say hi. They Kira's in the chat right now. We have Rabble in here. We have other folks like JJ Fit in here, and like Tyler's in here right now, I think. And other people. And be thankful for all of them.
Yeah. Thankful for all you guys. Thank you for being here with us. Yeah, I guess let's wrap it up here. Mystery, what do you got going on the rest of the week?
Well, I mean, with you guys, with the Thanksgiving long weekend, being like right here, right around the corner. Like right now, it's Thanksgiving long weekend, I guess, officially for you guys.
Yeah.
No.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We're not gonna be doing Dungeons, huh?
I said happy Thanksgiving. It's officially Thanksgiving here.
Oh yeah. Happy. We're 42 minutes into Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Yeah, I don't. We didn't end up. We're not gonna do our Dungeons and Dragons stream, tomorrow, or today, later on today, just because everyone's gonna be celebrating with their families and all that such. But I think I should be back to it on Friday with another stream. And yeah, we'll have to see about Monday. I'm not 100% certain how Monday is gonna be. But yeah, we'll have to see.
Very cool.
Twitch.tv/REALMISTRY.
That's where you find them. I'm probably going to be neck deep into work again for the next week. I will say things have been getting a lot easier for me. Things have been getting better for me when it comes to my job. And so I think I'm starting to get to the point where I'm starting to think about like, well, maybe I'll start streaming again. So probably a little bit of ways away still, but I'm starting to really get the hang of things. I'm happy about that. So be on the lookout for that over the next month or so, maybe in the new year. So yeah, for the next week, nothing really going on for me. But we will, of course, be back here next Wednesday. It'll be, are we in December then? Yeah, December 5th.
I believe so, yeah.
So we'll be in the month of December. Come next week. I will see you all here. I love you all. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Say hi to your friends and family and, tell them why you're thankful for them. And yeah. Links for the Discord will be in the show notes. Will be in the live chat. Once I remember how to spell Discord. And I think that's pretty much it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Oh, here, a question for you.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to pause the music. Just like one of those things.
Sure.
When you so in the form of like media, so maybe a movie or a TV show or a song or something. Right?
Yep.
If I was to mention the word anaconda, what is the first thing you think of?
I am gonna pause the music. Anaconda. There is a movie. Oh, what's it called?
Is it called Anaconda?
No, it is called. Is it Black Dynamite? Yes, there's a movie called Black Dynamite, which is freaking hilarious, and there's a scene in it. You know those scenes in movies where somebody will get an idea and they'll be like, oh, this is like connected to this thing by this, and it's connected to this other thing by this. There's this crazy scene in this movie where they spend 10 minutes connecting things that seemingly don't seem like they connect. And then at the very end of it, it connects to Anaconda something or other, some kind of company. And so I think of the movie Black Dynamite when you say Anaconda.
Really? Okay, because like, I don't know. I don't remember how Anaconda came up in discussion. But
Yeah.
I was in the middle of cleaning a freestyle, and
Okay.
like one of the coworkers came up to me, and the Anaconda came up in discussion, and they immediately resorted to the Nicki Minaj song.
Oh.
And I thought it was weird that that's the first thing they thought of, right? Whereas I typically thought of the Anaconda movie with like J-Lo and like them in it immediately. So it ended up becoming like a little bit of a like discussion at work, or like one of those things where I started asking around. I was just kind of curious to see like what people were thinking of, and most of the time, when it was like anybody like on the younger end, it was the Nicki Minaj, like one of the Nicki Minaj songs, and people that were closer to our age was the Anaconda movie.
Rabble says he thinks of Snake on a Plane. Hakira says Auntie Wanda's Anaconda. I don't know what that is. Is that from Black Dynamite? Well, okay. Yeah, so that's what I think of. If you want to let us know, whoever's listening, what you think of when you hear the word anaconda, then make sure you let us know in the Discord. All right, I'm gonna play the last 3 seconds of the outro music. All right, guys, see ya. That was such an awesome question. Dude, I gotta find this scene real quick. Let me see if I can find it, and I'll put it in the Discord. Oh man, it's so funny though. All right, everybody who is here for the live stream, thanks for hanging out tonight. Thanks for talking. Black Dynamite. Little Richard. I think that's the scene. Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's funny. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for hanging out with us. See you all next week.